Hello, Girl Talk and Wine. It is Robin Watkins here, and I have the Honorable Miss Overcomer, Tawana Lowery, with me. You guys may remember her from our last season. She talked and spoke to us about her book and overcoming grief. Today we had a phenomenal experience at the Miss Overcomer gathering in Nashville, Tennessee. So, Miss Tawana, I have a couple questions I want to ask you.
Sure.
The first one is, how did we get here in the Miss Overcomer stage or phase?
Yeah.
How did we get here?
Yeah, so it's a great question, and thanks for asking. So I always like to say I have a fire in my soul to help women overcome, and the fire was sparked by lessons I learned. And so, I like to say I got a Rolodex. Not that I would wish it on anybody, but as I began to get God's mind that I was not a victim, that I was truly an overcomer, and that Robin empowered me to overcome. I was so upset about what I had gone through. I kind of missed the point that I actually overcame it, I say it would be like Daniel getting out of the lion's den and saying, "Did you see what that megalomaniac did to me?" And his friends would be like, "Yeah, but dude, your head's still on, right?"
Exactly.
And so as I got God's mind about it, I was looking for a sisterhood to help me, lock arms with me. And I was looking for a sisterhood to help me reclaim my courage, reconnect with my calling, and a place where I could be transparent about my pain and shame. And unfortunately, I couldn't find it. I came up short, and I really needed that. And so I just said, one day, I did that thing, and I said, one day, when I get to the other side of this, I'm going to become the thing I couldn't find in my time of need. And what I like to say is, what can you become that you couldn't find in your time of need? Because if you have a need and you can become it, the answer to it, people will be drawn to you. And so that's really what Miss Overcomer is. To the glory of God, we are a place where women of faith can walk with courage and be guided by their calling and find that safe sisterhood, that they can be transparent about their pain and their shame and know that they can move forward in victory.
Amen. So you said that, and it sparked something in me, because my nonprofit, the House of Wealth, I started because on my entrepreneurship journey, there were no resources available for someone who was a startup, someone who didn't have credit, someone who didn't have brick and mortar, just someone who didn't have any education on business. God just gave me a vision, and I don't know what to do. I just need someone to help me from point A to point B. And I couldn't find that, and I had to start reading books. I had to start networking. I had to move out of the state. I had to, went through all the opposition that I had to go through. But when I finally overcame all of those things, I became the support that entrepreneurs need, when you're not the it person, or you don't have a parent that could just go and co-sign or get you the cash that you need. I wanted to be that for the people who needed me. So I like how you took the opposition, you took the obstacle, and you made it an opportunity. Right. And I like that. That's the number one thing for an overcomer. Is to overcome.
That would help.
Exactly. Yes, for sure. So another question I had was not only just how did we get here, but as the overcomer, Miss Overcomer, how do you continue to overcome? Like, what supports you? What keeps you grounded and keeps you going?
Well, the same thing that got me here.
Okay.
The thing that got me here is what's taking me further. And I practice what I preach. And the number one thing is prayer. But it's prayer to help me get to the other side, to help me hear my Father's voice, because if I can't hear my Father's voice, I really don't know what to do next, right? And it's either from the Word or from Him. And so I practice what I preach with praying and forgiving and casting all my cares onto Jesus. I look at overcoming differently now than I used to. I used to look at it as something I had to do.
Right.
But now I look at it as something I get to do. And yes, exactly.
And that's a big difference.
It is a
Perception
huge
is
difference.
a big different.
It's all the difference.
Mhm.
And the other thing is, I have a really big why
Okay.
that keeps me going. And when your why is big, the obstacles are small.
Ooh, that's good.
And so my why is huge, and it is to empower women of faith to walk with courage, be guided by their calling so they can maximize their calling and make a difference on this planet for good. And, you know, I like to say that every woman of faith has a powerful resource. They are a powerful resource for global good. And you know,
Right.
I love to say this, that when a woman of faith walks with calling, walks with courage, guided by her calling, she's unstoppable.
You are right.
And I figure if I overcame all I overcame, it wasn't by accident. It was for a purpose. And God told me it's your resume. It gives me entrance and to speak to other women about the things that they're going through. Because
Right.
the last thing we want is to get advice from someone who's never experienced anything, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I have a big why. And it really is to empower women of faith, help them overcome whatever it is that's holding them back.
Well, you guys, you heard that from Tawana herself. How do we find you?
So you can go to missovercomer.com or you can email me at tawana@missovercomer.com.
What do you have? What can we look forward to? Like, what's coming up next?
Yeah, so we're going to be launching a new semester of our empowerment teams, and you can find out more about that. Just email me, tawana@missovercomer.com. We're going to be standing up more, not only in the Nashville area, but more in the Birmingham area, and soon we'll have one in Tampa. So that's always coming. We do 2 of those a year.
Okay.
And then we have another Miss Overcomer gathering coming up in Birmingham.
Okay.
September 29th and 30th. So you don't want to miss that. And then we're going to do a charity fashion show.
What?
In
I'm
Birmingham.
there. I'm there. I'm
We're
already
looking
there.
for models.
Okay.
So that'll
got
be,
one.
that'll be spring of 2024.
Okay.
And God willing, we're going to go to London in the summer of 2024 and do Miss Overcomer UK.
I'm excited about that one.
Everybody
I'm excited
is.
about that one. It's on my vision board, so I'm excited about that.
That's amazing.
I'm excited.
So get your
about that one.
passports ready, ladies.
I'll get my testimony there. I'm gonna.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
All right,
Deal.
let's do it.
I wonder,
Okay.
now that we know how to find you, what's coming next, what advice do you have for any newcomers or any people who are looking to overcome? Like, can you give us some advice?
Absolutely. So
Okay.
here's what I like to say. If you quit when times are hard, if you give up too soon, you're going to cheat yourself out of seeing the miracle of watching God work it all together for good, because He absolutely will. I am a living testimony of it.
That's good. That's rich. All right, you guys, you heard it yourself from Miss Tawana Lowery, Miss Overcomer, and I am
Yes.
so grateful because I am now an overcomer too.